Where does it come up on there?
You're good, brother.
What's that?
I already shared it. You're good.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Turn your phone off.
Two minutes, folks. Yeah. We have silence. All right, you guys ready to roll? You guys ready to rock and roll?
Ready to roll, baby.
Let's do it.
Like a stone.
Like the cover of a
Hello. Wow. Hey, we're here. Hey, this is show 5.
Show 5.
What is that? Where's that playing?
I'm muted.
Yeah, you're not muted. It's like Nick goes, I'll do it.
You said you wanted to hear it again.
Oh my God.
Echo.
Somebody stop
man.
him.
Yeah, show 5, guys. Whoop whoop. How's everybody doing today?
Awesome.
Doing
Were we
well.
busy? Were we like freaking busy today or what?
Lots of
Productive
drafting.
day. Actually, last couple days have been
dude.
ridiculous.
Yeah, we're trying to get the kinks worked out, and everything worked out today, and it was hours and hours in the development office today trying to get that done. Joe knocked that shit out of the park, though, didn't he?
Mickey Mantle.
Man, he's good,
Yep.
dude. He's really, really good. So a lot of things settled today. All right, folks, listen. This is Bar Talk Radio. Welcome. Show number 5. We're super glad that you have tuned in to listen to us. Listen to our shenanigans. We have a pretty good show for tonight. We're live from the Consult App Studios. Catch us every Tuesday and Friday night, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Some guy the other day said, "Oh man, I can't watch. Jeopardy's on." So I sent him a little thing. I'm like, "Oh man, he's watching reruns of Jeopardy just so he can show off for his wife because the guy's a moron and he knows all the answers because he's already seen it."
See aware that a podcast you can go back and listen
Yeah,
to?
I don't know, yeah, but whatever. But currently streaming on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. We are streaming on those live. If you can't catch us live, a lot of people can't catch us live. We had 8,000 views on our video later, and I think something like 2,500, 3,000 listens on our podcast. So that was pretty good, man. That was show 4. That was a good show, though. We were really had a lot of people reaching out to me.
We beat the hell out of Zoom.
Dude, yeah, listen.
How's your Zoom happy hour?
When I blasted that on LinkedIn, all these attorneys were getting a hold of me and saying, "Really, man? Oh, thanks for the info. Thanks." They were really grateful that we kind of put that show together, and for Zoom, and kind of warned these attorneys, "Hey, listen, don't use Zoom if you're going to talk about classified information or talk to a client. It's no go. No go."
And aside from Zoom, just in general, cybersecurity is an issue that unfortunately not many people pay attention to.
No.
What was it, 34%?
Yeah.
Actually,
34% of the attorneys in the U.S. have either been attempted to been hacked or have been hacked.
Right.
So that's a huge number. I mean, that number is huge. So our podcast. So if you can't, I was just getting into the podcast thing. If you can't listen to us live, always go to bartalknow.com. You can get our podcast directly from there. You can get it from Spotify, iTunes, Google, pretty much wherever you can get a podcast, we're listed on there. So listen to them. They're pretty good. We have some pretty good podcasts. I'm glad we're not boring. I thought we were going to come out and talk about law and legal and do all that stuff and be boring, but we're not, man. This has really been good shows. Yeah, this has been great stuff. I'm Dropkick Dave, if you guys didn't know that. We have the Nick.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, Nick. We have the Nick in the studio.
Here.
The Nick. And we have Christopher G. Fry, Esquire. He is...
Still contemplating a nickname.
Yeah,
he's special.
We got to get him a name. We don't have a name for him.
We had
yet,
a few, but they were not viable for the air.
We had one. What was the one? Should I mention it? No, I shouldn't.
No, absolutely not.
So we got to
Something
come up
do
with
with
a
male chickens.
yeah we. Man, oh my god! Thank God we can't get kicked off the air. So, but we Chris is the CEO of the Consult app. I'm the chief creative officer of the Consult app, and Nick is the VP of the Consult app. And we excited or what?
Yeah, today is my official opening
First day. We
May
have Chris
1st.
in the and he did good today, didn't he? We didn't
He
have to
did.
babysit him. The
He
son of a
did.
he got in here before I did, so that tells
Wait.
you, yeah.
Oh,
I got
dude,
up.
He didn't know that we set his clock forward, did he?
Yeah, no man, he got in here
Well,
early.
I
and started
pennied his bedroom door shut.
Yeah, yeah. He got in here and started knocking shit out of the park, so that was awesome.
Yeah, drafting all day.
Yeah, it was
Maybe
good.
by leaving that
good
light
stuff.
on, he was trying to put you into some sort of sleep deprivation.
Yes, man. I guess.
It's the lava lamp.
Let's thank Wells Fargo, if we want. Leader in legal banking, dude. I'm like, ugh. I was on Wells Fargo on their
Punchy.
site today, man, going on some of their bill pay stuff and all that stuff, and it was like working in the dark ages. I think it was DOS. So I'm like, yeah, just come on, get it together, man. I
Green
mean,
screen.
LawPay, leader in legal billing and invoicing. They're awesome. Can't wait to work with those guys. I got an email again today that I did not answer back. Can't wait to start working with those guys. Huge thanks to Avo.
Oh, yeah.
Leader in attorney reviews and ratings throughout the world. The best. They are partnered with us in this app. You can actually get directly to Avo through our app. We have an API key, and it's been absolutely fantastic. For attorneys to sign up for our app, it's super easy. Just type in your membership number and some Avo information, and boom, it self-generates everything. So it's been great, man, working with them. They were super happy.
It's awesome.
They stay in touch with me. I got an email yesterday from them. Said, "Hey guys, how you doing?" Blah blah blah. So I'm like, "That's pretty cool, man. They're the real deal." Who are they owned?
Oh,
They're
yeah.
owned by who?
Well, it was Martindale Hubble. Now they're Martindale Avo, I believe. And,
Yeah. They're huge.
Yeah,
$1
Martindale's
billion
been around
company.
for 150 years,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Avo was doing so well and became pretty much online the number one
Yeah.
attorney rating service throughout the United
Right.
States. Virtually every attorney in the country is on Avo, and Martindale saw it and said,
Yeah.
"We need these guys.
We wanna
and,
buy
I
you.
think they got like 93 to 95% of all attorneys are on there.
How much
Yes,
did they
they
pay
do.
for Avo? You looked that up. How much was Avo bought for?
Oh gosh,
Was it
65.
680 million?
Yeah, it was
Something
like it was a lot of money.
It was a lot.
close
so,
to
yeah.
close to $1 billion.
$1 billion company
yeah.
that we're partners with. We're happy about that.
Closer
Hopefully, we'll
to-
be $1 billion company. That'd be nice.
Unicorn baby.
I'm gonna get a black jet. I think I want a black one. I'm just saying, like flat black.
Well, right now it's a Matchbox jet.
No, it's not even a Matchbox. It's one I had to
Hot
put
Wheels,
together.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Hot Wheels.
It's got a hood scoop.
So thanks to them. So let's talk about tonight's show. We're going to get into some things. We're not going to get in too depth, but we're glad we did the show the other night. I didn't get any heat from it. I thought we were going to get some heat from doing the Zoom show, but these people need to know, these attorneys and professionals, legal professionals out there, and even other professionals like real estate, they need to know, man. Zoom is not a secure platform. I'm not going to get into bashing Zoom anymore. We stated the facts, and I'm glad we did the show because we got a ton of positive response on it. So that was good. Yeah.
And well, what kind of heat are they going to bring? Everything that we were talking about was factual.
Well, yeah, it was all. Even was it Forbes magazine and Wired magazine? I mean, these are legit media outlets that came out and
Top of their field.
Yeah, and said it. I'm surprised people didn't know about it. It's kind of crazy, or they just ignored it.
It's like one of those things. I think everybody's kind of got their head down right now.
Well,
Yeah.
And the other thing was, as stated in the articles and the research that we did, it's good for certain purposes, but they specifically said if you're talking about sensitive material such as lawyers, because pretty much everything's attorney-client privilege, don't use Zoom.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It was a good show. Happy we did it. So what else is going on? Anything?
Man,
Busy day
Florida.
today. Oh god.
Yeah,
We're
and
gonna talk about Florida again.
Internally, I mean, God, we were killing it today.
Yeah.
Exhausting
Yeah.
day, but I mean,
Well, we got the form. We're working on forms. We're trying to do everything we can do for these attorneys.
You're
Hey,
tweaking.
let's throw in a move in midweek.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
How about
was
that?
horrible,
That was
dude.
like we found out it was like, in an hour later we were doing it.
Yeah, I mean, we
Yeah.
closed the deal
Yeah.
and we said, "Hey, let's go," and we got it done that night. So
Yes.
it was done.
We
but,
downshifted,
yeah.
made some calls, and
yeah,
got it done.
got
That
it
was
done. That was awesome.
and then yesterday we getting last night knickknacks for everything
Yeah.
and getting
Yeah.
set up.
Yeah.
I mean,
We got it done. Got
Like a
everything done.
barbecue grill and some
Yeah.
really killer burgers that Nick
and
made.
breaking it in.
Meats.
Got to break it in,
We
right?
like spiced meats.
Oh,
Nick is,
that chicken's gonna be so good.
Oh,
Nick
I know.
is the
Nick's a
the
chef.
resident
chef.
grill master.
Yeah,
now.
he's good. Good shit.
Yeah, man, it was good stuff. But man, more unemployment.
They
The
still haven't
nightmare.
fixed this freaking unemployment site, dude.
And-
DeSantis, Ronnie, we call him Ronnie
Yeah,
because he's a personal close friend of ours. No, he's not. But I mean, come on, man. How embarrassing do you have to be?
humiliating.
It's embarrassing, dude. I mean, state of Florida is embarrassing.
I mean, we
period.
started off as 50th, and if you could go any lower, we're there.
Yeah.
It just keeps crashing and crashing and crashing,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
these poor people out there.
all the denials, the ineligibilities.
yeah, 30,000 or something like that. It
more
was
than
like
that.
absurd.
I think it was double that.
It's like 40%.
I
Like,
think it was over 40,000 just last weekend. I think we had another 40,000. I think since then.
crazy.
It's
Pisses
like-
me off, man. The things aren't supposed to run like this. I mean, even the elderly. I mean, I don't know. Elderly is not a state problem; it's a federal issue. But we had a pizza delivered today by a 70-year-old woman.
74.
74. I'm like, first
Yeah.
of all, what are you doing without a mask, and what are you doing out working? She's like, well, I make $800 Social Security. I have to. So
Precisely.
I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
You
so
want to
I
talk
felt
about a
for her.
heartbreaker?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
sweet lady.
and if you look nationwide and at all of the statistics on COVID, the elderly are the highest risk group.
Right.
Florida's got probably the highest elderly per capita of any state
Right.
in the nation, and they're shut down on the unemployment. And like you said, you've got 70, octogenarians delivering pizza.
Dude, it's crazy. I felt bad. I felt horrible for her. But she had a good attitude about it.
She was sweet.
She had a
sweet.
great attitude.
She's just getting things done.
Yeah. She was
And we
doing what
tipped
she
her
had to do.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gave her like $3.
Good man.
Stop.
Quarters. I had some quarters.
Yeah.
I gave her quarters.
Emptied out your cigarette, your
Yeah. Yeah,
ashtray with change.
What else is going on? Anything?
Well, 416,000 claims have been paid.
Okay.
Over 1 million applied. 266,000 ineligible. Come on.
What makes you ineligible?
You
Who
didn't-
knows?
I mean, I don't know what the formula
Yeah.
is now, but I believe like years ago they would go in determining what your eligibility is by your either last year or last 2 years tax returns. It was like insane. And it's like, okay, so you go from making $100,000, now I'm broke, I'm unemployed, and they're like, well, we'll give
you
you
qualify
$250.
for our top rating. You get $600.
Yeah.
Lucky
Yeah,
you.
it used to be $250 a week. It was like,
Yeah. It's
Seriously?
it's insane. Florida's insane. Everything in Florida. We have Florida stories tonight that will blow your mind. It's just everything in Florida is insane, dude. We had a conversation today about living here, and I'm like, oh my God, I really want to live here. And right now we don't have a choice. But, geez, man, I don't know if in good faith I could live here, man. I'm just like, it's so backwards. It's just everything. I just I don't know. And they shut, Crane's Roost Park shut down. They shut park. I just don't get some of these people that are making decisions, and some of the decisions they make are absolutely just like.
It's craziness.
well, it's a tough issue, because, well, first of all, again, we're in an election year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've got, elections coming up, in the summer, and then, of course,
Yeah.
the major ones in the fall. And, who's going to stick their neck out and say, okay, time to reopen, and then what happens with an outburst?
China.
Could we delay them like the Olympics?
Yeah.
That's another sad thing, isn't it, man? Oh,
A lot of sad stuff, man.
dude.
We've never been in anything like this. It's weird, man. I don't think I'm praying that we'll never have to go through it again. And certainly, the youth or the Utes. That's what they say.
The
here.
Utes.
Utes here in the area won't have to ever deal with this again in the future. It's insane. I've never seen anything like it.
Florida's agricultural business is taking a huge hit.
Oh,
Everything's
the
taking a
restaurant
hit.
business.
Well, not just that, but people are buying. They're not buying fresh produce because they're worried about people touching it.
Right.
So they're taking a hit. So they're actually donating so much so that in their local areas where the farms are, the food pantries, the benefit are the food pantries are overflowing. But they're working with them on getting the produce to other parts of the country just to move it. But it's man, they're just getting.
But Kiwis is opening. Monday, Kiwis is opening.
That's right.
A lot of these smaller bars, these mom and pop owned places, the restaurants and stuff, they're opening. They're going to try to get it. What I don't understand is they've got to operate at 25% capacity, which is really, I don't understand how they're going to do that.
Right.
Because they still have to provide, the food. So they have to buy food. They have to pay for the electric. They have to pay for employees. They have to pay for cooks and dishwashers and all the employees, everybody that makes the restaurant go.
And the food, and if they don't sell it, it goes bad.
And they have to rely on 25% capacity. These people can hardly make it at 100% capacity.
Right.
They're skating a thin line. So I have no idea how it's going to work with 25% capacity.
Well, and then the other thing too is just because we say okay, go,
right,
doesn't mean that people are going to go out.
Oh
well,
yeah, I mean you have a lot of
so
scared
then there's
people.
that.
How many people are going to feel comfortable or safe actually going in?
Probably not a lot, man. You have a lot of scared people. I see it on Facebook all day.
Oh, sure.
I mean,
Do you think the next new mask is going to be like a slit in it for your cocktail?
I don't know, dude. It's crazy. What I did realize, and I did post today, there's just as many DJs as there is real estate agents in the state of Florida on Facebook.
I gotta say, I've seen one.
Oh my God, man! In my feed, maybe it's because when we were doing the other show that I was getting these guys and friending them. But man, every day it's like 5 or 6 DJs. They're all jamming, doing DJ things, doing their DJ get up, and you have some with 2 or 3 watching, and you have others with like thousands watching. So I don't know. I guess it's a big thing, but Jesus Christ, man! I like
a Zoom rave.
Yeah, like 8 o'clock in the like 8 o'clock in the morning, man. I don't feel like listening to rave music.
No, right. Not unless you were out from 8 o'clock.
Well, yeah, if I haven't been back to sleep, yeah. then I don't mind it so much.
We're not starting a day that way. If you're ending the day at 8, it might be okay.
So, but let's get back to Florida. Crazy place to live, man. I mean, I know a lot of people from up north, and a lot of people love to get down here, and they think it's paradise. And you still have a tremendous amount of people that love this place, and I'm not one of them. I'm not a big fan of Florida. I have no family here. Well, I've got my sister's here, but I have no ties here, and I'm most likely in the next few years not going to be here. I just it's crazy. It's just nuts. I mean,
the IQ is a little bizarre, I think, overall here. And, I think what it is, too, is you have your Floridians, and they rep hard. But then you have, and that's a good old boy network, which we'll talk about that here in a second, how we're going to tie that in. But then everybody is from somewhere else.
Right.
And so there's no loyalty here. I mean, like, look, when we went to the Magic games, right?
Right.
There was more people rooting for the teams that were playing the Magic than their own fans. And then you look down at the season ticket holder seats, right? And what would you say? A third were empty?
Well, the Magic suck. But this isn't
they always have.
This isn't a sports town anyway. This is a Disney town. The Magic, have struggled here. They just have. They don't have baseball here. They don't have football here other than UCF, co-national champions 2017.
Yes.
And he just say yes.
I have to say yes. My daughter was on the cheer team.
Yeah, whatever. She'd have been. Yeah, whatever.
We're gonna have some rules for this one.
Yeah, rules. But but it's just maybe we're spoiled. Maybe going to New York and Chicago all the time and going up there and seeing a real city and seeing But some people don't like that. Some people don't like that hustle and bustle. Me, I get off the plane in New York, dude. I'm full of energy, dude. It's like
you get an adrenaline rush.
And maybe that's just the mode that I'm in right now. So, but who knows? I could move to New York or Chicago and freaking hate it and go, geez, man, maybe I should.
Every place has its ups and downs.
Yeah.
So
you went to Hawaii, right?
I have. Yeah.
Have you been to Hawaii?
I have not.
Most boring time I ever had in my life. I went there.
Expensive.
I went to Kauai, and to golf. I went there and thinking, this is gonna be great. There's gonna be a bunch of ladies. I went alone, and beautiful. Don't get me wrong; it was gorgeous. But all the the women and the men that were there were married, newlyweds. So not slim pickings.
Did you
You know what I mean?
did you do any investigating, or were you just like quiet? I'm going there.
I just needed me time. I just needed some me time. I wanted to golf and get some sun and relax. The water's cold and the beaches are it's beautiful there. It's windy a lot. It's a lot, but it's gorgeous. I mean, it really is. It's beautiful.
But it's relaxing, right?
It is
it's
relaxing.
like slow.
Yeah, it's relaxing. Right. And look, and I did realize that most Hawaiianers, is that what they call them? Hawaiian punchers. I don't know. I don't know who they are, but they do not like
Native Hawaiians.
Yeah, they do not like people from the home or from what is this called?
Haoles.
Inland. Yeah, whatever. It
mainland.
Is. Mainland. Yeah, mainland.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't like us.
Well, why?
So,
I mean,
I don't much blame them.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like us.
Dude, I get it, but I'm here, so let's deal with it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, my point there is that they have like no sense of urgency over there, and I
No,
think
it's really laid
I think
back.
that we are. I think that's gotten the way that Orlando, Florida. What I see is it's like people are just kind of like,
Oh yeah, dude. We've known people just are just like don't want to work. They just whatever. I don't want to get into all that because we've had ex-friends and people that promise you the world and they don't end up working. They're just lazy pieces of garbage.
reality bending.
Yeah, reality bending for sure. So, I just in general, I get excited when I'm in a bigger city, Chicago, New York. Love both. I grew up in Chicago, was up there for quite some time when I was a kid, and it was nice to go back. It brought back a lot of memories being up there, man.
Awesome.
So,
and it's a real city, man. You go there and you got football, you got baseball, you got hockey.
well, it's a tech city too.
basketball, and
We
it's a
found
tech-
out. Me and Nick found out by being up there at that the American Bar Association. Their tech meeting up in Chicago is absolutely incredible, man. It was top of the line.
Oh yeah,
it was awesome. So being there, we realized we've met a tremendous amount of people there that have companies in Chicago that are tech startups. And so I'm like, man, I need to check this out. So we did some research, and what we realized was Chicago is one of the largest tech startup cities, preferred cities in the whole country. Chicago, the city of Chicago offers tax breaks and offers all kinds of benefits for tech startups to come there and which I think is ingenious.
Yeah.
I mean, and so it was really cool. It's a cool city. It's a great city. Everybody says, "Oh, Chicago, there's a lot of murders there." We're not talking about the south side of Chicago, okay? We're talking, in inner city, the Chicago, the Loop area.
Yeah.
right.
On the
I
river.
mean, the infrastructure in those cities
Gorgeous,
too.
dude. It's gorgeous.
Even New York.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a New Yorker. But
Sorry
about that.
and but the nice thing about the Consult product is that it doesn't matter where the home office is because
Oh, no. Are you kidding me?
is-
We're probably going to have to. I mean, look, this is reality bending. You want to talk about reality bending? The plans that we have for Consult, all of us and our developers and everybody that's involved in Consult, investors, everybody,
which is growing, by the
which
way.
is growing and growing. Our plans are to have a West Coast office, an East Coast office, a Midwest office. I mean, we really, this is something that's going to come out and it's going to change everything. And we already know. It's like, and I always go back to this reference of like Back to the Future, and then you go back and you find out who won the ball game, and then you come back to where you were and you already know who won. You're betting the bank on the winner. That's how we feel right now, just because of everything that's happened, all the response we've gotten from it. So we know we're going to be in those positions. We know that we're going to be $1 billion company. We have no doubts that we're going to be $1 billion company. And on all of our boards, you can't see it here, but on all of our boards, money's not everything. All of our boards in here say change people's lives, and that's what we're all about.
That's the entire concept
Yeah.
of the application.
Yeah.
So
Well, that, and when you make a lot of money, you can change a lot of people's lives. You can
Sure.
you can help people, you can do whatever, and I think that's going to be the big kick that I'm going to get out of it. I haven't always been like this. I haven't always been wanting to help and wanting to share and wanting to give. I've been kind of a selfish, greedy, moron for a long time, but it feels good to come out of your shell and just think about the money that the income that we're going to make and be able to help everybody, including our employees. Employees as investors and share and do profit sharing and do whatever we got to do to have a family here and really grow this thing and blow this thing out of the water. We know, me and Nick and you, we know. We already know. And our investors, for the most part, they all know. They're just as excited as we are.
That's the really cool part.
Which is really, really cool. So that
we had the right idea when we turned money down.
Yes.
Yeah.
We needed
Chasing
it.
away capital venture.
We
venture capitalists.
absolutely
we did.
told people to bounce because we weren't gonna settle.
Right.
We were gonna do it our way. We were steadfast in doing it our way, and we were not like, oh man, we never had a conversation where we were like, should we? It was like, hell no, no, that's it.
Yeah.
We're not going with them. We're not.
All of our investors we like every one of them, and businesses can't say that.
Right. And they like us. And
absolutely.
And I think a big part of that is the fact that we've kept it to, people that we trust.
Right.
We know we can trust them.
Right.
They know they can trust us. There's a free, exchange of ideas.
Right.
Everybody that works here is completely open to, constructive criticism.
Right.
Or new ideas or brainstorming.
Right. And we were blessed. We were really, really blessed. I mean, I don't know if a lot of people, and I was going to get into this when the app was launched and we're starting to sell subscriptions. We already have a ton of attorneys that want to jump all over this. And every day I get
the
emails and say, hey, man,
climbing.
Yeah. They say, hey, man, how do I get signed up? And I'm like, hey, be patient. It's almost done. But a lot of people don't realize that to develop this app, we started off with a firm, one of the best they're known for one of the best development firms in the whole world in New York, and that's who we chose to build the app. And the app was going to cost us a certain amount of money. Me and Nick were going up to New York about once every week. We were going to New York, kind of babysitting, making sure everything was done correctly. And then we had just had enough. I said, I just can't take it anymore. They're not doing what I'm asking them to do. Their creative vision was not my creative vision. And
we were being fought.
Yeah, we were being fought. And people know me. People that know me, I'm pretty strong-headed. And if I don't like that way that's being done, I just tell you straight up, look, things have to change. And they just didn't get it. So we were really, really lucky. We had decisions. We had met with other developers, a huge one in Chicago and San Francisco. We were going to choose them to build it. And then me and Nick had a conversation late at night one night, and we said, look, man, we just need to. I came up with the idea of like, hey, and I ran this past Nick. I said, what if we hired our own guys in house?
Then the research began.
Yeah, then the research began.
Right.
Yeah,
seriously, like we watched. I mean, we really, really did our due diligence, and it was just like basically we came back here.
Yeah,
I think we came back. We flew in from New York, and we came straight
that night. Yeah, we came straight from the airport
for another
here.
couple 3 hours, and we just started looking
Yeah.
at stuff. We were back here at like 7 a.m.
Yeah,
we just researched and said, okay, and then
let's
we
do
started.
it. And then
we
contacted Full Sail and contacted some outlets and ran some ads and stuff. And the first person that responded, I mean, literally the first person that responded was Joe. And you talk about a go-getter, dude. I mean, this guy was absolutely.
We were afraid because he seemed too good to be true.
Yeah, we were like this. We didn't want to get overly excited because we didn't think it was going to work. And
we'd been burned before.
Yeah, we've been shafted, but it worked, and we were blessed. And then Mike came, and then everything else fell into place. And man, that's our story. I mean, this Consult app. Stems from a lot of hard work.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
a lot of hard work. I mean, we didn't just fall into this. This is a 5-year vision I had. And, of course, I was in Knoxville with an ex and came back down here. That didn't work out. Came back down to Florida. My dad died. 18 months of just, like, getting punched in the face. We had another show, and we just – we were being guided to do this, and I don't know if there's a lot of people out there. I'm not going to start talking about religion or whatever, but I will tell you this: we're being pointed in the right direction. Whatever God that may be, whether it's Buddha or whoever it is.
If you're open to signs, we've had them, and we've been aware that there's signs, and it's we've definitely heeded.
Yeah.
And when you're walking a path and that there's signs everywhere. I really believe this.
many people overlooked them.
Yeah.
Yes.
We came back together.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, we known
yeah,
each
we
other
haven't
since what, 97, 98?
Yeah, 97,
And
98. Well, you were the first person I thought of when we started doing this. I'm like, I got to get Chris. I need to, because obviously you're an attorney. You're a good attorney. I mean, you're one of the best. So I'm like, man, we really want to get your input. We really want to talk to you. And then it was just funny, the connection that we had. And then, I mean, I would call you in Knoxville and you'd call me. I mean, we
Sure.
would stay in touch, especially during college football. We're always
Right.
staying
Oh,
in
yeah.
touch. But, just the timing was right. Everything that was going on with you and everything that was going on with us, and it just was like
and it was like you say, kind of the path and the signs, because you had, at that point, you were dealing with Sirius for your
Right.
other radio show,
correct.
and there were some things going afoul there,
Right.
and we're talking about
Right.
the app,
Right.
and
Everything
started-
fell into place, man. It was
Yeah.
awesome. I mean, it was like
And
it was
it's
like
kinda like-
awesome,
Yeah, and what would attorneys look for? And this
I
and that,
think
and
I
then
think you
started-
get led in the right direction if people know, if God knows that you have that genuinely in your heart that you want to be in a right place to be able to help other people. I think that's when things come into play to kind of guide you along the way. I wholeheartedly believe that. No question
I
about
agree.
it. I wholeheartedly believe that.
Yeah, not this false altruism
Right.
that you see out there
Right.
constantly.
Right.
You know,
Right.
well, there was just an article the other day on COVID, and they were just hammering some of these companies that are just trying to use this intensely horrible situation as a launch pad for their products,
Right.
And they're
Right.
they're exploiting it, and people see through that. I mean, people are not stupid,
Right.
you know.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
We are in
there's-
Florida.
Let's agree to disagree.
there's
Yeah.
there's a portion of them and stuff, but some of it's just so blatant and in your face, and
Right.
Yeah.
It is. But look, I mean, listen, everything comes around, right? I mean, like 2 years ago, a year ago, I wasn't the same person I am now. But I'm the same person I am now because I'm being led in a different direction. And, and that's just the way it is. And you just have to accept that. You either accept it or you fight it. And I'm not fighting it. I'm accepting it because every decision that we've made, every direction that we've been led into, has been a grand slam. So I'm not fighting it anymore. Wherever he wants to put us, and whatever direction he continues to send us, man, I'm following. I'm following.
Yes.
I'm holding on. You know what I mean? So it is a feel good story. It's amazing how everything came together, and I'm hoping next year and the year after, we're still going to do these radio shows. If we're billionaires, it doesn't matter. We're still going to be the same people, and our goal.
It'll just be in a bigger studio
It'll
that
be
we
a
own.
big, it'll be in a bigger studio that we own, and we're going to help people, man. That's what like I said, every one of our boards change people's lives. I mean, we really wholeheartedly want to do that. I think that's first on my list. I mean, you can go out and buy Ferraris and Lamborghinis and all that crap you want to buy, but you don't get any self-fulfillment from that.
No.
And, as you get older, that's more important than, fast cars. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
You get something out of it, I'm getting too old not to get things out of something,
Well, and looping that back into the app, how it helps attorneys, it's going to be better for their
yeah.
lifestyle,
Yeah.
right? It'll be a net
Sure.
gain and,
Yeah, Nick,
and
I mean,
quality of
that's-
life.
and the clients.
So it's not
Yeah.
just like it's giving we have something that is going to be so beneficial.
That's a perfect spot, man. I mean, you nailed it right on the head. And we got into this with being like I said again, being pro user, pro attorney. We want to help attorneys. Attorneys aren't assholes, man. They've been getting a lot of, all the bad jokes and all this stuff. Most attorneys are just extremely busy, man. They're a different breed, and they're go-getters, and they grind. And because they don't, pay a lot of attention to you, it's not because they don't want to. It's because they're extremely busy. This app is going to kind of like bridge that gap between, the user or the client that's extremely upset with an attorney, and that attorney will be able to communicate with that client a lot better and a lot easier without taking time, showing that client that he cares, and building a relationship with that client, because that's important. And
times are changing.
Times
right?
are definitely
And
changing.
Technology,
Definitely.
we were talking. Chris and I were talking today. Utah's looking at letting people that aren't in the law business become owners and partners with attorneys. And,
Interesting.
And they're trying to, and the Chief Justice was like, hey, we want to have technology people get together with attorneys, and we want to use 21st century technology to get justice out there at a better rate.
Right.
And we're hoping that it's going to get more money and capital into law to make it more affordable for everybody to get justice.
Right.
And every single day, whether it's on the internet or a newspaper, we're seeing more and more about video.
Right.
And face-to-face.
Right,
And
for
we've
sure.
talked about the stats
We went into Zoom
consistently.
the other day and saw how important it was, and it just wasn't the
And
right format. but-
Face-to-face,
Right.
contact, and sometimes it's it's as simple as the clients out there and they're not sleeping. They're in many of them are in bad spots.
Right.
Whether it's divorce is never fun.
Right.
No. Criminal law.
Yeah.
As we used to
Horrible.
always say, all it takes is an allegation and
Right.
you're sitting in jail.
Yep.
If the right people believe the wrong information or
Right.
what have you, and so their lives are completely disrupted, and the person they turn to is their lawyer.
Right.
I mean, you get that certain percentage who kind of figure like, well, okay, I hired you, so here, boom, they dump it in your lap and think,
Right.
okay, I'm good.
Right.
And it's like, no, you need to participate, and that's what this tool does.
Right.
It keeps
Yeah.
it enhances the abilities in not only just the video, but the other features in there as well.
Right.
It's secure.
Yep.
Everything is on the app. You don't have to go to 14 different programs to
Right.
do this. You're not on Word here and then
It's a grand slam. I mean,
Yeah.
no question about it. And when it launches, the response is going to be incredible, and I'm excited for that. But we've taken our time and really, like today, we had a few little glitches in the video and a few little glitches with the inviting people into the video and doing that. And
when
doing,
we were testing on the
yeah.
phones.
Listen, it has to be perfect, and that's my standard. When it comes to that, it has to be perfect.
Exactly.
And what's really cool about it is that's Joe's standard too. Joe will sit in there and he will come up with a solution just because it's that important to him. So, and Mike, both
Yeah.
of them. So it feels good. It feels good to have guys that have the same drive and the same vision that I have that are back in the development office working, dude.
Well, how many times in
freaking
your
amazing.
life do you get a chance to work on something that will have a profound effect on an industry?
Oh yeah, dude. Listen.
And we're
Listen.
sitting in a perfect spot at a perfect time
Yeah.
with a product that is gonna.
It's a perfect storm.
It's solving
Yeah.
a need.
It's a perfect
Right.
storm. And another thing, Nick, I mean, the millennials and Gen Zs.
Oh, that's just
I mean, they don't wait for
toppings on the ice cream,
They don't
right?
wait for anything.
Right.
I mean, they're not waiting. I mean, we went through this conversation the other day. Mark Cuban came out and said, hey, look, it's an on-demand society. It's an on-demand economy. People don't wait for anything. That's the reason Amazon ships overnight. That's the reason Walmart now ships overnight. When people want something, they want it now. They don't want to wait. So you don't have to wait with our app. Millennials don't have to wait to get some advice on a legal issue. They don't have to wait to get an attorney. It's something it's instant, and it helps them right away.
And sometimes it's what would be considered between the attorney and the client a relatively simple matter, but when it's sitting on your mind,
Right.
and you can't get a hold of someone, and
Right. Right.
As soon as they get an
Yeah.
answer, boom,
Right.
everything's good.
I mean, a lot of these attorneys, man, they're just going to the same old practice where they will get a phone call, the secretary will get a phone, and they'll set an appointment 2 days, 3 days later. And I always mention this, and I always say this: if you think for a minute when that client, that future client, hangs that telephone up, if you don't think that they're going to pick the phone up and call to try to get some immediate help from another attorney, you're in a different world, because that's exactly what happens. And with this app, you're an attorney, you're getting a call immediately, having a face-to-face conversation, closing that client right over the phone, sending an intake form, sending inviting them to the dashboard, sending a retainer agreement, sending everything over to them. And now you are their attorney, and you can speak on their behalf. Dude,
Well, and here's, okay, so now you're the user, and instead of going, oh man, I got to call somebody else now because I can't get in till like next Tuesday.
Right.
And then now it's like, oh man, that was pretty cool. What? When's your appointment? I don't know. I'm already done.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and you
And
can
with
do
Law
that.
Pay and our sponsors.
Oh, LawPay is going to be great, man.
It's-
I can't wait to get them in. I just can't rush it. We can't. I'm waiting till summer to get them in because I have to get everything else ironed out and worked out and get this thing running smooth
Sure,
as pie. You know
step
what I mean?
by step. And
I love pie.
We've got the.
Do I always say that when I say pie? I think I say I love pie.
It's like a
love
form of
pie.
Tourette's.
yeah.
Yeah, two for $1
Yeah,
apple pie.
but look, we can talk about the features and this app, and we use this show to do that. And sometimes we go overboard, but we're just that passionate about the product. All of us are.
Absolutely.
You know, we're just that
Oh.
passionate about it. So let's talk about some Florida stuff. Some stuff.
Man.
What we talked about a judge
We
earlier.
were
today.
talking about the Good Old Boy Network,
Yeah.
right? And you want to know why we have issues ourselves with the state of Florida. You hear of something that happens when there's a story, and then it'll be something about a Florida man or a Florida woman. You're like, oh,
Right.
Well, just last week, there was a judge that was appointed with no election.
Right.
Yeah.
And digging a little further, because I was sharing that story with
Yeah,
you. So
we researched it.
so the guy is the son of a rich tobacco attorney, and there was a guy that was sitting in the bar, and there's a thing where you don't run against a sitting judge. There's like an
Generally.
unspoken rule.
Yeah.
Right. Is how it was explained in the article.
Right. Well,
And-
if you lose a couple, because I throughout my career, I've assisted in handling, gosh, probably close to 20 judicial elections, and
Weren't you going to be a judge?
it was always a thought.
Yeah.
I think
I thought
I
Pascal
think I
wanted
would I think I would enjoy it.
hurting.
But frankly, yeah. Right now, I mean, in my own personal mindset, I'm so happy being here.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
With
Yeah.
something that's where I
He's the consult judge.
Yeah.
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 Judge,
Yeah,
jury,
well,
judge,
you know
jury,
what it
next
How
is?
long are we
executioner.
going to let him wear the robe? When are we going to tell him no more robe?
I don't know why he was wearing that around all day today. and he was walking around with this wooden hammer. I'm like, what are you
yeah,
doing?
but that was
man?
a white bathrobe and flip flops.
Remember the toys that used to pound the
Yeah.
wooden peg
Yeah.
into the thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
the square peg in a round hole?
Yeah. So anyway,
Um,
so this guy, getting back to the point. So a attorney met with the judge earlier last August and said, "Hey, judge, are you planning on retiring?" He said no. So
Correct.
she said, "Okay, forget it. I won't put my name in the hat to be a circuit judge." And then that happened. So now this guy's 37. There was no election. The voters are pissed because they weren't alerted that this was going on. The
So
sitting
how did he
judge,
become judge?
The,
He
si-
just-
the sitting judge,
It's an interesting
set
scenario.
his retirement. He sent in that he was going to not run the day before the election or the deadline.
The deadline for filing.
The
for
next morning, then that guy that won put in his application to do it. And the judge said, well, it was right before the deadline. I knew I can get my money back. So I just said, the heck with it. It's too stressful. I don't ever want to run, the campaign. I'm 72 years old. I'm not doing it. That was his official thing. So the guy that won, he has two cousins that are judges in Duval County already. And it's just everybody's up in arms about it because
It's
it
a
was
good
Slim
old boy
Shady.
network.
Well, basically, the judge puts in his letter of his intent to retire right at the literally the 11th hour, so to speak, and this other attorney puts in his application for that seat now that it's going to be unopposed, and nobody else knew about it, so he had no competition.
Oh, so
And
he
there was only-
automatically,
there was
by
only-
default.
Yeah.
2 hours
He
before
was
the
unopposed.
deadline, he's unopposed, and he wins by default.
Smart judge.
Smart, but many people might say
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
it's kind of like with the stock market. What is it? Insider trading.
Yeah. Insider insider judging.
Like, did somebody tip him off, or how did he know to switch from
Well, that's how Judge
one
Judy got
seat
her
to
job.
another? Yeah.
Judge Judy.
Well, she's brilliant.
She's so hot. I'll be honest.
Stop. Well, then in Brevard County last week, a Brevard County attorney was arrested for soliciting a 16-year-old.
Oh my!
And they
God,
said that he was
dude.
running a prostitution ring out of his house, and he would defend prostitutes,
right.
and then he would allegedly trade sex for legal fees.
Another smart dude.
Oh my!
And he said, when he got arrested at the airport, Hilton, I think it was, and said he was going there to help out a 16-year-old.
Whatever.
What
a piece of
it
garbage.
was just, it's a come on, man.
Yeah.
Where's
Where's the 16-year-old's parents?
Yeah.
I mean, what? These.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, and unfortunately,
it's like, come on, man. I mean, that's craziness. I mean, that's ridiculous.
His name was John Gillespie. He ran to be.
I've heard of that name.
Yeah, he ran here in the early 2000s or late 90s. He wanted to be the public defender. 2004 he ran, and he'd lost, but
John Gillespie.
I like that guy.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
and then
though.
There
It's
was
just
another story on for a blank.
what does it look like?
No, we were
Yeah.
just talking about the drugs
Drugs.
in the hotel room with the overdose.
Oh, yeah. Well, that happened. Who was the guy that ran for
Oh,
governor?
I-
He
Oh,
was found in
Gillum.
Miami.
Gillum.
Gillum.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah,
that's another
dude.
Florida man
Yeah,
story.
Another Florida man story.
So we have some reasons.
Yeah, man. It is. It's
Well, remember that DC
Crazy.
mayor got busted for crack and then won his reelection?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, right.
I got to
get
tell
it.
you, I was like, although that's not really that frowned upon. It's not a felony in
I know.
DC.
There's people here in Orange County, like the commissioners, that are just absolutely. I think 2 of them are convicted felons. They're just absolutely morons. I mean, they seat in their district and they continue to get voted for every year, and what is it, 2 years, 4 years, every election or whatever, and it's sickening, man. It's like they're not smart. They don't care about the people that they serve. And they're only in for, for their own personal agendas. That sounds like about all politicians, don't it?
Right.
I
It's
think you just summed up politics in general,
Yeah.
right?
yeah, right.
Yeah,
It's
man.
like even going back centuries, Dante's Inferno with the levels of hell. I think he had like the politicians were just below the child molesters.
Right.
It's like,
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, Biden's in trouble now come on. I mean, he came out and with this bullshit. Did you guys watch that today?
No.
Watch a little bit of that? I caught a break and watched a little bit of him talking about explaining what happened, and he's like, it's just the Democrats and the Republicans in this country freaking hate each other.
I'm glad I'm an independent
Yeah,
I am too.
yeah.
because I could look at both sides with just disdain.
Yeah, it's like, my God, man, I don't know.
The system's just broken. We've said this, how many times? It's just, it's.
And it's not just
back in
Florida.
the
I
day,
mean,
people
it's
would
just-
make their
No,
money and
it's
then go into
nationwide,
politics
man.
to better.
Yeah.
Now you get into politics to make your money.
Yeah,
But
nuts.
that's my Florida stories. Oh, there was a guy that was arrested for camping at Disney on Adventure Island. He was staying in one of the rooms there, and he was like, "I plan on staying a week." And he said it was like a tropical paradise.
Oh my God,
he was
man.
alone.
I mean, look, he's like, "Look, I'm isolating. I'll go to Disney."
So when are they open? Speaking of the did you get some info on when they possibly might open? Or are they talking about it? What are they doing?
Well, they were talking once again, going back to what you were saying about the restaurants with the restrictions. There were some reports that Disney, Universal, SeaWorld are contemplating opening, and that obviously because of the enormity of their draw to Florida and our tourism industry, they may be opening, however, with some restrictions as far as capacity and determining what they feel would be a safe capacity as opposed to, shoulder to shoulder throughout the entire
Right.
parks, and the beaches too,
Yeah.
particularly along the coastline, because Florida's got more coastline than any state.
I heard the state parks are opening too. State parks are opening up phase 1 Monday,
Yeah.
so they'll be open. They'll be open Monday too. So I get it. They're trying to get the economy back going. I mean, let's hope it doesn't bite them in the ass. Let's all hope that it
Right.
doesn't. Let's hope that this thing. The one thing, I'm not a huge DeSantis fan, or what do we call him, Ronnie? I'm not a huge fan of his, but he did come out the other day and talk about why he's doing what he's doing. He basically had the media reports, everything from WFTV to Channel 13, had all these reports on all these statistics on all this bad stuff that was going to happen. So he took the statistics that they predicted and he did it with facts, and it wasn't even not even a fraction close to what they were predicting. So,
and when they do
it's
open
just
up,
scare tactics,
everybody
dude.
could still self-protect, right?
Sure.
You wash
yeah.
your hands.
Yeah.
It's like during flu season, right? You don't touch your face. You don't touch the triangle, right? Your eyes, your nose, your mouth.
Right.
Right? You wash your hands, Everybody's just be more self-aware, which I believe we all are. It's pretty funny going into the store. How many times now have you gone into a store and it just feels awkward to be around people, right? It's just
Right,
like, you see people like, oh, no, you go ahead. No,
Yeah.
you go ahead. And
It's always felt awkward for me being around people. Man, I'm not a big people person.
but I think that there's certainly more social awareness.
I think that's going to stick.
I think so.
I do too. I
I
think
do.
it is too, and it might be for the good of all of us. Really, to be honest with
I
you.
think it's
It
going to
truly
change
could.
business in general.
Oh, dude, let me tell you,
You know-
Nick, another fantastic point. This is the reason we have the Nick on the radio show.
Boom.
The guy's smart as what's
Well,
smart?
let's just leave it at that.
Smart as a brick.
yeah, I'm sharp as the edge of town.
Listen, great point though. It is going to change business. I mean, I think a lot of these working remotely and working from home, I think a lot of these businesses said, "Hey, man, it worked." So maybe we might swerve a little bit that
How
way.
much do you like picking up stuff from Best Buy now?
Oh, it's fantastic. Best Buy, you just call and order it, curbside pickup, bada bing, bada boom.
How about golf
Yeah.
clubs?
Golf clubs, same thing. Over at PGA Warehouse. I love PGA Warehouse.
I read the other day that a
There's
lot of
nothing
these
like going in
a lot
and
of these
shopping,
companies are gonna implement this
Yeah.
long term.
I like going in like the PGA Warehouse and
Oh,
shop.
yeah.
looking
Well,
around.
who doesn't?
Man, yeah.
If you kind of blend that with Mark Cuban's quote about people want it now, it's
Right.
an on-demand society.
Right. Makes sense.
And the fact that the United States worker, the average worker, whether it's a school teacher or whomever, we work, twice as hard as most any European country.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you ever go to Disney and you see these people and they're like from
Yeah.
the UK or Germany or something, and you get to talking to them, some chit-chat or
They
small
do
talk.
siestas.
Yeah, and it's like,
They sleep like 6 hours a day.
There's
dude.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I love a good nap.
and
Yeah.
like as an American worker and or being an attorney, it's like, oh yeah, we had a Friday off, or I took Friday off, so I'm really fortunate. I got to like bring the kids to Disney for 2 days,
Right.
and these guys are like spending a month holiday at
Right.
Disney. It's like, first of all, it's like a month, and second
Yeah.
of all, it's like, how do you afford that?
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, what are you guys making over there?
They probably save, for years and years to come do it. I don't know.
Well, first of all, the pound, how it's traded, they're getting
Yes.
$2. Their pound goes further here, so they always come here and buy buy things.
I like working. I don't mind it at all.
No.
But
That's
there's
another
it's a
kinda
different
thing.
mindset.
I think we're all have that kind of
We're all grinders.
We're worker bees.
workaholics.
Yeah, we're all
You know,
grinders, which is great.
But man, we're tasked with. Look at our task. Don't you feel like you have some sort of responsibility? I mean, we have investors, and obviously we have to answer to them. So that's really our responsibility. But
Right.
when you've created something
Right.
that's going to change an industry.
Yeah.
And that's a hell of a responsibility.
It's awesome.
Well, and again, going back to what we were talking about, with the social distancing probably going to stick to some point. Definitely people are more aware. And not only that, but I think people through, like you were talking about the Best Buy and ordering from home and just running out and picking it up.
Right.
That falls perfectly in line with the Consult app.
Right.
I mean, people are going to be in various scenarios. I always just kind of, because I have 4 kids and remember the day, when you're sitting in a bus line and you're sweating and, oh my God, I'm going to miss my appointment. Now you just pick up your cell phone and
Right.
talk
Yeah.
to your lawyer on the phone, face to face, upload documents, share things,
Right.
take notes, and everything is automatically logged. You
Yeah.
got your history, you got your notes. It's in there. You can bring it up, look at it. There's just so many features to it.
It's a firm in your hands.
Yes.
That's what it is. It's
for
the firm
for the attorney and for
that
the
sounded a little weird. It's a
Soundbite.
firm. It's a firm. Yeah, it's a firm in the palm of your hand.
Yeah.
Hands. It's a firm in your hand. It's firm in your hand.
iPhone 10X. S.
we will not. We guarantee
Hey,
we will
does
not.
Monday mean
have-
that there's no more to-go cocktails?
Monday. Oh my God. Yeah, we didn't take advantage of that.
Not once.
Not once.
We didn't even. We haven't had a Bloody Mary in what, 3 weeks?
3 weeks. I did have a bourbon yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Or we had a couple beers last night too.
Oh, yeah, we
a
did
couple
have beers.
Coronas.
We did have a couple.
It was good. That was nice though. Sitting out back there.
How nice was the weather?
Great,
Oh.
man.
What was
great.
it like?
It was relaxing, man.
61 and
It was relaxing.
no humidity. It was beautiful.
It was great. What's the weather tonight? Same thing. I haven't been outside in a while.
I couldn't tell you.
We were outside earlier today, man. It was freaking blazing
hot.
hot.
Well, that's what
Are
I
we
was gonna
golfing?
say. I
We
mean,
golfing Sunday?
I'd like to.
Yeah. We should
Although
go
it'll
golf
probably
Sunday.
rain, but yeah, let's plan on it.
Yeah. You going golfing with us?
Sure.
Get you on the
We'll
links.
We'll let you drive the cart.
Yeah, we'll let you drive the car and go pick our balls up from the weeds.
Chris is in there. Go ahead.
You can wear your judge uniform too.
I'll be the guy that fucks up all the sand traps, right?
yeah.
Fuck the rake.
Yeah, you can. You can.
You're not allowed to rake. There's no rakes.
There's no rakes.
Oh, no rakes.
No rakes, and you can't touch the flag
Can't
stick.
touch the flag stick. That's going to be difficult for you.
Yeah. Mind the rules.
Yeah, mind the rules. So no, it was beautiful. So
I can't wait to get my
I'll be holding-
pickleball league.
next week's a big week for us. Next week, the app will be finishing complete Wednesday, testing all day Wednesday, Thursday. So by Friday of next week, it will be complete, or actually, it will be submitted to Apple on Thursday
Oh man, that's,
to get live for the test, and so it's getting there, man. It's getting there. I went through the whole thing today and just kind of like buzzed through, and I'm like, oh my God, this has turned out better than I expected.
Oh,
well,
just-
how about when you look at the old prospectus?
Yeah, did
Yeah,
he bring
right,
that?
yeah,
in? Did
we-
he bring
we-
that in
we
today?
brought that
yeah,
in.
the old.
Well, he was talking to him, and I said, "Hey, look at these."
Yeah,
You know, and
Yeah.
it just as far as
yeah,
from a developmental and a creative
Right.
and a functional
Yeah, because
perspective.
that was created the first month, and
Dude,
since
We
then-
no,
did
that was
actually,
created, like,
that was
years
round 2
ago.
because
yeah. I created that years ago. I mean, that was could
that-
have been. You know, I
that's
was with-
version 2 that I have, right? Not version 1, or do I have version 1?
that was version 2. Version
yeah.
1
I
didn't.
think we gave them all away, right?
It didn't. It wasn't too far off from that.
Yeah.
But that was the original. I still have the original XD
Yep.
flow, and it's different. It's definitely
Oh, man.
different, but same. The same functioning.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
Just-
knew
just-
where I was going with it.
Yeah.
I knew what what I wanted to do with it. You know, it was the same functions, the same. You know, the video.
that
and
was
the notes and
Tasks and
tasks
video.
and documents. Oh God, that's all we were gonna get. If we would have stayed with the last developer that we had, we wouldn't have an app until the end of the year, if that.
and it would not be anything like what
Oh,
it is
not
now.
even close, man. Not even
You know,
close.
I mean, what it is now.
They wanted to
compared-
come out with an MVP with 3 things,
yeah.
and we've got over 20.
I'll give you a little hint.
In
what
less
they tried
time.
to do. So we went up and we spent all this money. We spent a ton of money for them to do research. Basically, is what they did. So when they did this research, they literally tried to talk us out of video. They tried to talk us out of the video
which was
part.
the
And I'm looking at her
You
when
should
she's
have seen
saying this.
to see my face waiting.
for days.
I was
This is what I did.
So I looked at him and I'm like, you
Wait,
gotta be. I'm like, you're
I think
kidding.
what is
right?
it? Gobsmacked.
Oh, dude. So
is a word, right? That term, gobsmacked.
Yeah.
You're like.
So when they did that, I knew that I had made a mistake. I had made a bad choice. I
we
made a
just
mistake.
want to justify that this is what there's a need for that. We're like,
What are you talking
Huh?
about? We had already done the research. We had already done all that. They spent $80,000 on research. That's what they did.
to come up with an inverse idea of
I had
what
to
the
give him
entire
another
app
100
was about.
I had to give them another $120,000 check. And the day that I had to give them another $120,000 check to continue our work, I can't. I like, no way. I'm not going to do it. I
can't
couldn't-
sign
I
this.
can't do it, man.
in good faith.
And yeah, I could. I
I
just
can't
couldn't
even
do it, man.
e-sign this.
I have
Well, we knew-
investors.
we knew.
Yeah, I have investors I have to report to. We do. I have
Correct.
investors, and not just investors. I have to report to myself. I'm so passionate about this thing. In good faith, I could not give them any more money because they were going down a rabbit hole. They absolutely, their vision wasn't my vision.
We were being fought tooth and nail
Yeah.
about just
Yeah.
Well, and when it's your work product, it's kind of like when I always, prep for trials. I was always like a minutia guy. I had to know like everything. I'd be up like days for 3-4 in the morning, memorizing everything. And this is what road mapping, and when you're paying somebody that kind of money and their roadmap is coming out going like completely the opposite direction of what your vision is, it's like, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
What the
start
hell
to
are you
realize.
talking about?
Unfortunately,
Are you
it
not
took us
listening?
took us a little bit of time to do it, but I didn't want to jump to conclusions. I wanted to give them another try, and I did, and I didn't want to. I didn't want to. I wanted to be completely sure. And when we came back from New York that last time, in fact, we flew up. We were supposed to have a video conference. We were supposed to have a video conference, and I said, no, we're going up to New York. So we just flew up to New York because I wanted to see him in person. And it was funny. We actually met another firm up in New York to possibly do the app for us. And obviously our conversation wasn't confidential because 2 days prior to that we met them, and then 2 days after that we met with the other company, the ones that were producing our app, and they were really friendly. And we knew that
we looked at each other like
we knew that he
there.
had called and told him that we were.
And then people
we
that
were-
never would
we
come
were
into the
fishing.
meetings were sitting in on the meeting. Oh, I just
Yeah.
want to come say hi.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, it's like yeah.
And then we couldn't get a straight answer.
Yeah.
When you ask a specific question,
They were going to churn and burn us for $600,000. That's
Pretty
exactly
much.
what it was going to be.
And
If not more.
you just we were talking about today because we're all obviously a little punchy and from
What?
exhaustion. Huh?
what do you mean?
yeah, what are you talking about?
But we're in the office and we got the dev room
right.
and you're back and forth and creating ideas and I'm in the office drafting forms for Nick is over there researching and
Right.
we're putting together a marketing plan and all of this is going on at the same time. And it's just amazing because there's no infighting.
No.
There's, nobody here. Everybody's somewhat self-effacing where it's
Right.
like, I don't mind, if somebody criticizes or, well, how about
Right.
this or could we do that?
Well, it has to be
But
that way.
And
man.
it's always,
Yeah.
but it's always done in a very professional, oftentimes tongue-in-cheek because we all
Right.
have good senses of humor. And,
right. Well, it's we all get along. We're family.
Right.
We all get
We
along.
all have the same sense
Yeah,
of
we all
humor.
have getting along. But look, this is the kicker. We all know our task. We all know our job. Those were assigned to us. We all know what we have to do, and we're all working. It's like a football team. The
Right.
offensive guard, he's going to block. I mean, the quarterback, he's going to pass. I mean, everybody's got a job to do, and if everybody does the job correctly, we're going to win a Super Bowl. No question about it. So everybody that we have in-house, in staff right now is doing their job with perfection. So
Which-
it is like
which
everything's
is-
working out.
Yeah, which is causing the people that we've been contacting on the external portion of this
Right.
to really, it's eye-popping.
Right. I had
they're looking at
five
it and-
attorneys today email me or send me messages through LinkedIn and said, "Hey, how do I pre-sign? How do I get done? How do I do this?" Literally every day I get attorneys calling me saying, "Hey, this is awesome, dude. This is going to fit right into what I need. This is awesome. I want to do it. I want to do it. I want to do it." And I have to be patient. You just have to be patient, but it feels good to get that.
Sure.
It's gratification,
momentum.
dude. Yeah.
Sure. And
Yeah.
one of the things has been brought up a few times is, well, how do I integrate this with the system I've always used? And it,
Right. You don't have to. Yeah.
you don't
it's-
have to.
right.
It's so simple.
Right.
It's like it's a completely, to use your phrase, it's in a completely different lane than everything else that's out
Yeah,
there.
it is.
And all it does is supplements what you already do, and it's going to make what you're already doing that much simpler.
And all the features that we add are included in the price. And I'll give you a perfect example. Today, we finally got the push notifications and all that done and all that verified and all that
Those
wrapped
are
up.
beautiful.
So you're a law firm. You have 10,000 clients. You have a holiday party or this COVID-19 or something hits. You want to send a quick message out to all of your clients, whether just a well-wishing message or whatever it may be, saying, hey, we're here for you if you need us, whatever. I see John Morgan. I see Dan Newland. They do it all the time. They just put up a quick little commercial, quick little something that says, hey, we're here for you if you need us. You know, a little reminder letting them know that, hey, we have your back, okay? You can send it out. Literally, it takes like 5 minutes to type it, to send it, and after you send it out to all your clients, you can keep analytics and find out who's opening it, who's looking at it, and the open rate on a push notification is 92%. An open rate on an email, and I went high today when I listed it, is 2 to 4%, not just 4%, 2 to 4%. So you're an attorney, you have a firm, I'm giving you this service to do that, okay, as much as you want.
And you're going to know.
That alone, we looked at sites today. Nick did some research today on sites. There's actually apps that just do that and charge hundreds of dollars just to do what we do that's going to include it in the price. Yeah.
Right.
A month.
Yeah. So
some are charging the price. They're charging like $150. Like if you are a larger firm, what you'll pay for our app, right, is less than
right.
what you would pay for just the push notifications.
And we're
you'll
not
have
coming out with the
unlimited-
pricing. We know what the pricing is, and we know it's way underpriced, but we wanted to keep it that way. And with this COVID-19, we know a lot of these attorneys are going to be out there. They got to get their hustle back on. They got to get back to it. The court system isn't even open yet. People aren't getting arrested. Things aren't happening. Things have slowed down. So we've come up with really a cool plan for attorneys, and I'm not going to say the price, but we've come up with a great plan for these attorneys to pick this up and use it right away. Plain and simple. And
right,
that's
which
our goal.
which is kind of our altruistic input into this nightmare that we're going through.
Right.
Because they're going to be hustling, and we said it before, and we said it on other shows. Just because you flip the sign from closed to open, doesn't mean all of a sudden business as usual.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
No, this is
It's
a
just
very
not.
profound. It's a profound time.
It is.
And everybody is reevaluating how they run things. Yeah. And there's definitely we have an answer.
Yeah,
we have an answer at least for one industry.
And throughout this process with this pandemic, people are becoming more and more accustomed to the quicker, more efficient. My daughter takes her dance lessons on the internet on video, and everything's turning to video. Video. Court hearings are video.
With Zoom,
gyms are putting out. Yeah, but that's the downside of it.
We didn't even get into the court systems and how ashamed they should be because they want to catch up and doing videos on an insecure platform. Now, let me tell you this. Let me tell you what's going to happen.
Oh, blowback.
Think about all of the cases and all the hearings that are being done with Zoom, and they get guilty verdicts or something happens. What do you think's going to happen? They're going to say, hey, I had conversations, I had meetings, and I had court in an unsecure platform, which wasn't secure, and it violates my rights. It's going to go to the Supreme Court. They're going to file appeals, and it's going to go to the Supreme Court all day long. You know this, and I know this. How many people?
How funny was it that we've had conversations with people, attorneys, about some other things?
Right.
And what was the comment about there'll never be video in court? Why?
Oh yeah. Oh, because it violates his right. Yeah, it's not due process. And I'm like, come on, man. That's the reason we're working on an app right now.
8 weeks later.
Man, can I tell him? I'm going to tell him. I'm not going to tell him. No. So yeah, consult. If you listen, people, Consult's not the only Consult Law. This Consult app is not the only app we're going to come out with. Believe me, we're going to come up with solutions to problems in a ton of different business industries. Yeah. So. In saying that, I need to get Bill Umansky on. We always talk about Bill Umansky. He's really nice of us to let us post
for sure.
on the Lawman's Lounge.
Yeah, he likes our stuff.
We
had a blast. It was a great show when we had him on.
So I want to give a thank you to Bill Umansky. Hopefully he'll listen or whatever.
We got to have him in here.
I definitely want to get him in.
Back out.
I want to get him in because he's a character, dude. He's a good dude, and he has a good practice. He's well known. And Rachel Maddie is fantastic. She specializes in DUI. She's fantastic. She's humping it. She's busting her ass. I see videos every day with Rachel on there. So they're doing what they can, man. They're humping it. They're doing what they can. And so I wish them the best of luck. So we definitely got to get Bill on here, man. I want Bill on here so bad.
Oh, Billy.
No, seriously, we need to get Bill in here. So
can we hear that one more time?
Absolutely.
Oh, Billy. Ah!
Yeah, we're developing a list of guests for
good.
the show to come
Good.
in and do.
Obviously, the show's really, I mean, we
Various
haven't had
things.
anybody in because we can't get them in, but don't you think for a minute we're not going to get people? We
Oh,
want
yeah.
people
We've got
to
our
come
first
in.
call in, Andrew Stickle, on Tuesday.
Good. Andrew's
Right.
awesome, so that'll be great. So, so it is 8:09. You guys, it's Friday night, guys. You guys ready to blow out of here,
Living it
man?
up, living it up. Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's get out
Friday
of here.
night.
Yeah, we can
Yeah, it's
go,
Friday night. Do you
go
want to talk
back-
about anything else, Chris?
Just unpacking.
Yeah, Well, you got a busy weekend. You got some forms
Yeah.
to finish, and then
He's got to starch his underwear.
I
Yeah.
got some stuff I got to go pick up and move in and do some stuff. So it's finally things are starting to come to a little bit of normalcy. We've been it's been crazy. Man.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
been
Didn't it feel
blessed.
good though
I've
last
been a
night, just to
vagabond.
kind of actually
It's great, man.
feel like a
it was
like
great.
we were just a couple of guys hanging out at the bachelor pad?
Yeah, no, it was great.
Yeah, I mean, actually being able to sit at a table and eat dinner.
Yeah, it was nice.
Instead of,
Yeah, it was really
know,
nice.
huffing it down in your car like
Yeah.
between stoplights.
It
You
was
know.
nice. All right, gang. Thanks.
Enjoy your weekend,
Yeah,
everybody.
everybody have a great weekend. Tuesday, 7:00. Tuesday, next Friday at 7:00. We'll have some more insight. Tuesday's getting really close to the day that the app launches.
And
so-
I was just going to say by Tuesday night, because I know that our entire crew is going to be in here probably, throughout the weekend, polishing things up. Again, still drafting, still creating, still
right.
and every time we do, the damn thing gets better and better.
Oh, I know.
It's
I know.
amazing.
That's
Yeah.
the beauty of
Like
being
on a
right next to being
daily
in the dev
basis.
office.
Yeah. Oh, listen, and get well to Emily.
Yes.
Emily,
Yes.
Joe's significant other.
Yes.
Get well soon. We're thinking about you. So get well. We if you need anything, please call us if you need anything. All right, guys, we're out here. I'm going to play the rock and roll on the
I
out,
love the
too.
music. Yeah, it's got to end with that.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Let's
All
do
right.
it.
Have a good weekend, everybody.